Which retiring Lego sets will perform really well as an investment? If you were to put your money into a Lego set and expect that the value is going to go up after the set retires, which set would you choose? This is BrickBucks, where we talk about Lego investing and buying sets before they retire and holding them as the value increases. And today I want to share some Lego sets that I am personally buying that will be retiring in the next couple of months, and I am currently buying as an investment. I'm going to pull back the curtain on 3 different sets above the $100 price point that I am currently buying, because in the last 2 videos here on this channel I talked about some other price points. I talked about the under $30 sets, and then I talked about $30 to $70 sets, and today we're going to talk about the big boys, the big sets over $100. Which ones am I investing in? There are many out there that I think have a good chance of doing really well. Let's talk about 3 of these sets. Now, if you like these kind of videos, please make sure you hit that like button down below to let me know, and I will be sure to continue to make videos just like this one. So with that, let's just jump straight in here. And the first set that I want to highlight here that I am currently buying is the Lego Ideas 123 Sesame Street. Now, this set has mixed emotions out there. There's mixed feelings in the Lego investing community about whether or not this set will do well. And I get it. I see both sides here, because at first, I wasn't a big fan of this set as an investment either. And the biggest reason for that was I wasn't really sure that Sesame Street was going to be relevant enough in the future to really continue to sustain the demand on this set. And to be honest, I didn't think it was going to do as well as this set has actually done, and it has proved my first initial gut reactions completely wrong. This set has been in massive demand since it released. The sales on it has been really strong. It is a fantastic depiction, and I can definitely understand why fans of Sesame Street love the set. It really does do justice to Sesame Street. Now, nostalgia is a very powerful sales driver. It is incredible what nostalgia can do, and anybody who is now grown up and has disposable income and starts to realize that Lego has advanced and is more complicated now, and it's targeted towards adults now, and you know, they can find sets like this one that are 18 plus, but the topic is actually related to something from their childhood. That's going to lead to a lot of nostalgia, and that's exactly what we're seeing with this set. Now, the fact that it is 18 plus is interesting on this, and I thought it was strange when the set was first released. Now, it is set number 21324 with 1,367 pieces and 6 minifigures. It was released in November 2020, and when it retires at the end of December 2022, it will have had a shelf life of just over 2 years, which is pretty standard for the Lego Ideas theme. We can see dramatically less than that in some cases. We can also see dramatically longer in other cases, like the Saturn V rocket, which is also retiring this year. Now, this set is pretty widely available, so it's not hard to find, and you should be able to get a bit of a discount on it as well. As a result, I think, you know, resellers and investors are not going to have a hard time building an inventory of this set, but I also think it is flying under the radar for a lot of people, because I just don't see a lot of chatter about the set in the communities, and if that continues to happen, we could have a case where there's not a whole lot of supply on this set in the aftermarket. But again, that just really remains to be seen. That is just a bit of a hunch that I have on the set. Now, what are my expectations for the actual numbers on this one? It's set number 21324, and the MSRP is $120. And if you got it for 20% off, you'll be paying $96 on it. The expected sale price on this one for me selling on Amazon in the US is around $240. And again, wherever you are, this could vary, and wherever you sell, it could vary. So you just gotta, you know, adjust the numbers for your own situation. $240 is what I expect conservatively to be able to sell this set at within 12 to 24 months of a time frame. That would make a profit per unit of $108 after selling fees are paid if I got it for that 20% off price point. And that would be a return on investment of 112% for each of the units that I sell. So of course, I don't plan to just sell one of them. And that's not a bad return on investment on this set. I really like the price point. The $120 price point on this one, it gives it some room to grow in my opinion. It feels like a premium building. It feels like it almost could be a modular building for $170, $180. And especially with the price increases that Lego Group have gone through recently, I think that this set comparatively is going to look a little bit reasonably priced. And as a result, there could be some room for that price to grow in the aftermarket. So 123 Sesame Street, in my opinion, is a bit of a hidden gem right now in today's market, and I think it could do quite well. I'm definitely a buyer of this set. Next on my list of 3 sets I'm buying over $100 is the T2 camper van. Now, this is the Lego Creator Expert or Lego Icons This is the T2 camper van. It is the follow-up to the T1 camper van, of course, which recently retired. And the T1 camper van has been doing really, really well in the aftermarket. It was a $120 set, I believe, and right now it's selling for $240 on Amazon US or something like that. In a very short space of time, that price has gone up very, very quickly. So I'm a big fan of what I'm seeing on the T1 camper van. As a result of that, I'm starting to pay more attention to the T2 camper van, and I'm going to be a buyer of this set. Now, the funny thing is, just like Sesame Street, I wasn't always a buyer of this set. I didn't see this as something that I was going to get excited about when it first came out. Again, I think it just didn't speak to me right away. I didn't know that there was enough demand to have two Volkswagen camper van sets out there until after I started really analyzing the T1 camper van. I actually bought a few of them, and I sold them for incredible return on investments. And I saw the demand out there was so strong on that set. So as I was looking into that set a little more and kind of seeing how much demand was out there, it led me to the T2 camper van. And as I was looking at the numbers on this one, in my opinion, it looks quite good as a prospect. The demand on this set is extremely high. It is way beyond what I expected. Again, given that there is also a T1 camper van, I kind of thought that that might hinder the performance of this set, but I actually think it has added to it because of the collectability factor. And I think a lot of fans who love the T1 camper van are coming back for more and also buying the T2 camper van. Despite the higher price point, this price point was actually $180, which to me seemed a little bit pricey, but it's also got a much higher piece count than the original T1 camper van. And with that higher price point, I expected the demand to be a lot lower than the T1. Now, it isn't as fast selling. The T1 sold a little bit faster on Amazon when it comes to the sales rank and different things like that. But when compared to other sets in this price point, other $180, $200 sets, the sales on this set is actually really, really impressive. And in my opinion, that demand will be sustained over time. LEGO Creator Expert vehicles have the potential to do very well as a sub-theme in general. And so I don't think that this one's going to be an exception. Now, on top of that demand that I think is going to be really strong, I also think that the supply may be a little bit lower on this set than some of the other sets that are retiring this year. Again, for those same reasons, the same kind of reaction, gut instinct that I had about the set when I first saw it. Other LEGO investors may also feel the same way, that maybe this set is not going to have demand because T1 just retired and people are already kind of sick of Volkswagen vans and they're not going to buy this one. That's some of the assumptions that I made before I looked at the actual data. And I think that there's other LEGO investors out there making those same assumptions. And as a result, maybe this is going under the radar. So what are my actual numbers on this set? What are my expectations for it? Again, this is set number 10279 and it had an MSRP of $180. If you could get it for 20% off, then you'd be paying about $144 for it, and I expect to be able to sell this for somewhere in the region of $340. Now, it might take 18 months to get to that price point, but I think it's totally possible on Amazon in the US to be able to get to that price of $340, given the high MSRP of $180 and the high piece count of just over 2,200 pieces in this one. So I think $340 is totally doable, and if we get there, then of course, after selling fees, this would be a profit of $145, which is pretty much doubling your money. That's 100% return on investment, which again is doubling your money, 100% return on investment. I think it's totally possible, again, especially if we can get this at about a 20% off discount. And lastly, in this list of 3 sets that I'm buying over $100, of course, is the Disney Castle. This is 71040. Iconic set that has been around forever. This set was released in 2016. So when it retires at the end of 2022, it will have had a shelf life of around 6 years, which is quite extreme for any LEGO set, of course. This is a massive set of 4,080 pieces with 7 minifigures. It's the flagship set of the LEGO Disney theme and has been since it was released. And now the time has finally come for this set to retire at the end of 2022 with the most recent data, of course, and everything could always change, but as of right now, this set is scheduled to retire at the end of this year. Now, there's going to be mixed emotions out there from the LEGO investing community about whether or not this is worth investing in. Most of that is because of the price point. This is a $350 set. So of course, with higher price points comes a little bit more risk because you are putting more money into the set. And then also means that the set is a lot larger, so shipping the item to customers becomes a little bit more complicated. And some Lego investors just do not buy sets of this size at all. I actually was one of them for a while. Now this year, I am going to buy this set. I'm going to invest in this set. Now again, this is just my opinion and there are a lot of variables in the mix here. For example, such a long shelf life could lead to there being a bit more supply out there than we might expect to see from a $350 Lego set. Usually when a price is that high, it will mean that the supply will be lower in the aftermarket because a lot of investors and resellers, they're just not buying this set, right? For the added risk and the added storage space that's needed and the added amount of capital that you need to be able to put into it. And so the supply will be lower. At the same time, the demand is also usually lower at higher price points. But in my opinion, I think that the demand on this set is so strong that I think it's going to outweigh the supply by a fair amount in the aftermarket, which could lead to the price going up on this set pretty quickly. Now, we don't really have any really strong examples of other similar sized Lego Disney castles that have retired, and we could compare the performance and different things like that. So some of this, we just have to go on some of the numbers that we're seeing today. And I am seeing very strong sales on this set. I don't believe the supply is going to be able to keep up. So what are my actual expectations for the numbers? Again, this is set number 71040 and it's a $350 MSRP. Now, if you could get it for 20% off, you'd be paying $280. It is harder to do that on such high priced sets that are not readily discounted. So I will acknowledge that $280 might be hard to buy this set at, but you could possibly do it. Again, if you got gifts with purchase and different things like that you sold to get your money back, or if you got like a 15% cashback offer from Rakuten for Lego Shop at Home or anything like that, it is possible to get this kind of discount. The expected sale on this one, I think that it's possible within 2 years that this set might hit $650. Now, again, it may not get there, but in my opinion, $650 is doable, and that is what I am personally setting my own price target at. That will be a profit per unit of $272.50 if we could buy it at that $280 price point, which would be a return on investment of 97%. Now, if we can't get this set at 20% off, you're still going to be doing pretty well on this one if we're selling it for $650. I'm still okay with paying full $350 MSRP if we can sell it for $650. It just remains to be seen whether it will or will not get to that price point. Now, I do need to call out that with this set, there is always a risk of re-release, okay? Because this set is so iconic and so central to the Disney Lego theme that there is a chance that the Lego group will release a new version of it with maybe some minor changes, and that will definitely heavily impact the chance that this set will do well as an investment. So we need to always be aware that that is possible. There is a chance that that will happen. However, the fact that this is a $350 flagship set, in my opinion, it means that the only way that they will re-release it is if they pretty much re-release it in exactly the same way that it is right now, maybe a few minor changes. I don't think they can easily outdo this set. I don't think they can easily release a newer, better version of it for $400 or $450 because this was already such a great set at a high price point. It's not as easy for them to kind of upgrade it. And so that reduces the risk of re-release a little bit in my mind, but it does not go away. It still is a risk. So everybody should consider that and do your own research and due diligence before you invest in this set. But in my opinion, it is one that I am personally buying because I do think that it has a lot of potential. So these are 3 Lego sets over $100 that I think could do very, very well as an investment that are retiring this year in 2022. Which one of these sets is your favorite? Make sure to let me know in the comments down below. And when you're down there, please do hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Now, if you want to learn more about Lego investing, we have a free Facebook group. I definitely recommend joining that Facebook group and getting in on the action. The link is in the description. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I'm Shane from brickbucks.net, and I will see you in the next one.